every step that I take, I don't feel good and my body starts to shake. I fell in love with a girl I haven't seen her met so far. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only one who sees what they say it takes to be a man and what a man can be. It's all a lie, it's all a fraud. They only feed you with what they're being fed. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. 'Cause someday I'll leave this place even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Well, it makes me lose my mind, but I don't get it why everybody's moving so fast and I'm not even blinking with an eye. But I don't want your badge, I don't need no gun. I'd rather bleed truth than feel misunderstood. Sometimes I still feel it's all so dull. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. So why don't you take it all? Take it away from me. Someday I'll leave this place even if cities don't run away. Don't run away. Don't run away.
Take me to the streets so I can celebrate. Never knew a feeling better than today. Means the beginning of a brighter day. Letting in a feeling, mending what we break. Find the solace in the dissonance. You control the way you see the world. We've come so far, and now let go. Let the feeling take its toll. We've worked so hard, now don't you know? This is music for the soul. Let the music take control. is a playground, you can play the game. Look to the horizon, the sun is on the way. Move till the nighttime, then we'll fade away. Find the solace in a dissonance. You can show the way you see the world. We've come so far, and now let go. Let the feeling take its toll. We've worked so hard, now don't you know? This is music for the soul. Let the music take control. caution, cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the. Big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. And stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Nice keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. Let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
But I got the reach. Pop, lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach. I just do what comes natural. 5-star, everything I see. Live large, no apology. Take charge, no one can compete. I just do what comes natural. Got me on a roll, straight stunner, welcome to the show. No other, they already know. I just do what comes natural. All day, running out the clock. Fast paced, never gonna stop. Big change, see you at the top. I just do what comes natural. So what you waiting for? What you waiting for? Give them what they came for.
It's the final day of action here at the Flashpoint 3 closed qualifiers, and one more chance for one team cementing their spots at the RMR. We began our week with 16 teams, but now just 6 remain, and one more must be cut from the competition in our final day of action. Joining myself for SBS to be getting into this last day of the tournament, of course, the wonderful duo of Davey and Jackie. Gentlemen, pleasure to be back here. I'm loving the chain, Jackie. Looking very stylish today.
Yeah, I was going for the Big L look. You know, I wanted to keep it fresh. It looked like it was going to be quite a funky day for the finals, so I thought I'd, pull out the hip-hop vibes.
Yeah, got to be pulling that. Davey, I hope you had a good birthday yesterday. I heard your birthday well. Did that go well?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was nice. Great, nice birthday meal. Treated myself to, and that's pretty much it. I didn't really do much else. So, there's not much going on during these times. So I just sort of sit around and hope for the best.
And you've got your Canada flag up in the background as well. Is that for any particular reason?
Well, it just felt weird to only have the one, especially because I don't sound British, you know what I mean? So it felt weird to just have that one up after the endpoint game, and I was like, well, I'm going to put them both back up anyways, so I was like, whatever, I'll just put the other one up now too.
Well, it's looking fabulous indeed. And of course, make sure you guys are following us over on Twitter at Flashpoint to make sure you're catching up with all of the actions. We've had so much going down here at the closed qualifiers, and it's all leading into that Flashpoint 3 RMR later on in May. But speaking of that action, Jackie, we had a hell of a lot going down yesterday. We had some fabulous games to be gracing our screens on day 3.
Yeah, really, really quality stuff, right? Both of those best of threes were tasty. It was a lengthy one, but none of us will turn our nose up at it. Unexpected results as well in terms of some of the score lines, right? Really back and forth games the entire time. Unexpected map picks being picked up. Just, I don't know, a day of CS that I think took a lot of twists and turns, and it's really left us with a good spread for the last day.
Yeah, it really has indeed. And we can see exactly how that has been playing out with our opening matchups here in the upper bracket. We, of course, started off with the 16 teams, but they were cut from the competition. We saw the likes of Ents going out early on, Davey, and that was definitely a surprise.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise. That was the biggest upset of that, is they just went straight out, just 0-2. I mean, obviously now, knowing what we know about Anonymous, obviously it's not as much of a surprise anymore, because now we see just how good this team is and how far they've made it. So now it's like, well, yeah, Ents lost 2-0 to them, and at the time, I remember like, wow, that is a big upset. But looking back, obviously this team has seriously improved. Obviously, we heard from Sprout yesterday that they thought that this team really didn't expect much from them coming into this event, right? Everything beforehand was pointing to the fact that they didn't think they were a very good team, and then now we see this run that they've made. We see they did lose 2-0 to Mouse Sports in the end, but still, what a run from them to finish in 3rd place here.
Yeah, it was an incredible run of form indeed, because Jackie, we didn't really know too much about Anonymous coming into this. We had a lot of question marks. Obviously, we got to speak to Innocent yesterday, and he was telling us a little bit more about how the team was formed. And I think it's a well-deserved 3rd place seeding coming into the RMR.
Oh, absolutely, right? This is huge. And I think one of the really nice things is it was cool to kind of see that sentiment come through from Innocent himself as well. It was something I was saying, that we haven't really seen that, Snacks and those sort of Polish players back in a position where they are in the tier 1 scene again in terms of the circuit, right? Obviously, he said the same thing. He was so happy after so long. They've been able to prove that they've got gems, they've got new up-and-coming Polish players supported by Snacks and Innocent, and they're now back finally in that major circuit. Now they just need to stay there and prove that the spot was worth it.
And we also had the likes of Sprout cementing that 4th place seeding as well, because that was a really spicy matchup against Havu, Davey. We were kind of coming into it thinking that Havu should have the upper hand in that matchup, but no, Sprout managing to best them.
Yeah, Sprout showing that, again, they are no joke. They have those new players. Slaxid coming in, he was talking about it, how they came from alternate attacks. So it's a bit of a change up, right? Because they're going to a new team. This team has a lot more experienced players. They have higher expectations. So then obviously now the new players have to change their expectations, right? They're no longer on the second they're no longer on like the 3rd or 4th best German team. Now they're playing on one of the teams that is expected to perform. You're getting paid well, you're expected to play well. And so that sort of had to it was sort of a mix-up for them, and you can see that he said that it's taking a little bit of time to adjust. Their comms still aren't necessarily perfect. You can see that there's a lot of talent on the roster. If they can just work some of those things out, they have a very successful career ahead of them.
Yeah, they definitely will indeed. And we were sort of picking up on some of those individuals in that game against Havu, Jackie, but then obviously coming up against Anonymous, sure, they had an incredible start on Anonymous map pick, but couldn't seem to continue that momentum coming into the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think what was the changing point of Nuke, really? Davey was saying, is it going to be enough for Faven? Can he get in there? Or will that double exposure to the radiation knock him off? And it did. He went from dropping, some crazy numbers throughout the first series of the day to just falling flat towards the end there. And then when we got onto the last map, it was just really crumble city. There was nothing left by the end of that game, and it was quite unexpected, to be honest. I thought we were going to get a really close finish on it, but I suppose it is what it is. It was for seeding. At least we get both of the teams in the RMR.
Yeah, they both have cemented their spot at Flashpoint 3 as well. And we're going to be continuing on that journey today as we have one more place left at Flashpoint 3 RMR. It's going to be Double Pony taking on the likes of Havu for that spot. Maybe we can start off the conversation by talking a little bit about the side of Double Pony, because we had a few questions maybe coming into this, Davey, of how they would be performing in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they are sort of a mixed team, right? So apparently earlier, MBK tweeted that this was going to be his last match with the team, so he's going to want to end on a high. But like we had said about Double Pony, they are sort of a mixed team. You don't really know what to expect from them, but what we have seen from them in recent events is that they are able to cause upsets, and that so far has continued through Flashpoint. And they're going to be looking for in this final, this 5th place decider, to cause another upset, because as we now found out, this will be the last match played with this 5-man roster, so they can cause an upset here again and beat, if they can beat this Havu team, who are strong. This is a good team. Havu finds themselves now in this 5th place decider, having to play against Double Pony, and I promise they're not going to be super happy about that. This Double Pony team is not easy to play against.
No, they're definitely not, indeed. And you were kind of saying it earlier, Jackie, you're the one that spotted the tweet from MBK, and he said losing is not an option coming into this one. He wants to go out with a bang.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the star power that he can have at times, hopefully, there will be a bit of an explosion on the server. He did that against Endpoint, right? He had that huge 3K on Overpass that secured them the game. Really, it completely knocked the steam out from Endpoint, and it kept Double Pony in the tournament. From that point, they've done a good job of keeping their heads barely afloat, but this is probably one of the hardest challenges they're going to have now. Havu, not an easy team to go up against. So in terms of that, with obviously MBK sitting there thinking, all right, if this is the last one, maybe let's have a big last hurrah. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see indeed. And talking about the side of Havu as well coming into this one, we maybe weren't so impressed in terms of the individuals yesterday against Sprout, Davey, because it was only really Zora who seemed to be stepping up consistently in that series.
Yeah, absolutely. He was sort of the guy across all of the maps that they played. Did fall off a little bit on the last map, gotta be fair. He did sort of not have as much of an impact on the last map, but the first 2 maps, and especially here on Train, was absolutely completely all Zora. He put that team on his back. They won 16-14, and he had like 34 kills or something like that. And there was 3 players on his team who were negative, if I remember right. Like, he was the reason they were able to win that game, and only barely. So again, he's going to need to step up big here against Double Pony. But honestly, like Zora, he's consistent. He generally puts up numbers. Everybody else has got to step up and help this guy out sometimes, We saw lots of people yesterday on this Havu team just sort of missing easy kills, not being able to hit their shots. Their team play was still good overall, which is why they were able to win even that one map. But Zora was a huge factor, and he needs somebody else to step up and help him out.
Yeah, and that's potentially something that's maybe uncharacteristic about Havu. We should be expecting, some of the other Finns to be stepping up when we're coming into the server, Jackie, not just relying on Zora to have those lights out performances to get you across the finish line.
You would have thought so. I like the pun. That was pretty good, actually. Well done. Well done on that one. Hopefully, we'll get some punny plays coming out on the server. But honestly, it's X7 for me that I think was the other sort of power that helped him out a lot, right? At least he was being able to step up to the mark. Between the both of them, they kind of had a 40 bomb. They were the ones that were really performing. Aerial, though, did not have a great day. He was the one that we were kind of focusing on a lot because he was struggling in terms of the frags. Didn't look good on his KD. But then again, there was moments that we called into in terms of positioning. You know, the Dust 2 game we saw out of him first, he didn't really get tested for pretty much the entire CT half. They just kind of avoided long. They never really encountered him. So it was one of the reasons why he had a slow start to the day. I don't know if that was a knock-on effect or if it was also just, him having a bit of an off one. He just didn't look on form. And it's weird because he looked really good at the start of the qualifier. He was someone that was helping them out a lot, hitting his shots and doing aerial things as he does. This man is sick at CS. I just don't know where it went yesterday.
Yeah, we saw him posting, a 1.44 rating, I think, in terms of one of the opening matchups we saw of Javi. So it's a little bit surprising not to see him coming out of the gates hot yesterday. And I'm wondering from your perspective, Davey, if you're coming in from the side of Javi having a little bit of a disappointing matchup, I guess, against Sprout, where do you think they need to be shifting things up if they're hoping to take the spot at the RMR?
Well, like I was saying, I don't think it was necessarily their team play that was overly bad or anything like that. It was just they just had quite a few players who weren't able to get their kills, and Ariel was one of them. He's normally someone who does put up big numbers for this team. He's usually right there at the top of the scoreboard with Zore on this team. So to have a player like that falling off so hard in that series, it definitely took a big hit to them, because even if you're used to practicing where you have this guy popping off, you have this guy fragging, then you come into a match and he's not having a great day, then all of a sudden all the stuff you practice doesn't necessarily work anymore, and that can be a problem. Like Jackie said, maybe it was because it was Dust 2. He was playing long. They kept avoiding him. He didn't get warmed up, right? He didn't get to have the chance to get kills. So he didn't get didn't really get flow, and he didn't really get into it. It's definitely a possibility. That does happen to a lot of players. So maybe if they could try to find some way to get him more into the game. I remember back in the day, Sean Gare's doing this interview, and he was talking about Shroud on his team, and he's like, if Shroud didn't get kills on pistol, I would drop him a gun and tell him to run up mid and kill, just so he could get that feeling, get that blood flowing to try to kill those people on those anti-eco rounds, right? And maybe that's something that Ariel needs, something sort of like that to just get into the game.
Yeah, we do indeed. And I'm wondering how we're comparing these two sides just in terms of the playstyle that we've seen so far, Jackie. We've been able to see a couple of matches from both sides so far on the broadcast. So where are the sort of main comparisons for you?
I think the fun bit is that it's double pony's playstyle, right? Where they're a mix, they have kind of that availability to pull out a little bit more mixy CS in the sense of going for bold plays, going for these gamble stacks, pulling out the deagle rounds and doing dirty things, and that's worked really well for them. The aggression's been there, but they also have a good baseline strategy. The backbone of this team, of course, is a core unit, so they have that going for them. You can see they've been putting the time in on the server. I wonder how much of that's been benefited by having NBK here for a brief stint as well, but I think it's more aggression in terms of having that mixed style to fall back on, whereas for Havu, coming into this today, it needs to be the resurgence of Team CS again for them. That's obviously the one fact they have going. Good trades. In terms of the positioning, they were looking really good early into the qualifier. They were being flashed in really nicely for each other. The trades were on point. It was a little bit sloppier yesterday, specifically from Zore. A couple of positions on D2, it felt like he was on his own a bit, but I think team play is going to be the big factor for Havu, and individuality has to come out for Double Pony.
Yeah, and speaking of that aggression from the side of Double Pony, do you think that could be a potential difference maker in this series, Davey, if we see them hoping to take down Javi?
Yeah, absolutely can, especially, depending on what the maps are. We can see that there's French teams who definitely favor certain maps. They favor that aggressive style on those maps. And if the Havu players aren't hitting their shots like yesterday, Double Pony could absolutely take advantage of that. They could find those timings. They could find those aggressive fights. And if they're able to win them early and maybe put Havu on the back foot, that could spell real trouble for Havu.
Yeah, we've been talking about a couple of the individuals coming out from the side of Double Pony, maybe on mainly on MBK. But are there any other names that kind of impressed you so far throughout this tournament, Jackie?
Joko's been sick. That guy's done so much, right? I think on Inferno, he was popping off. He had a crazy half. He was a one-man army. Unbelievable with an AK in his hands. Filthy with a Tech 9 or a Deagle as well. So even if they're on pistols, he's still content. Lucky's looked pretty good as well. I think that's another one that's definitely got to be on the radar. Lucky's, been no stranger to CS. In terms of how he's played in this team, it feels like he has a lot of freedom. And he's been making full use of that. He was cleaning up into yesterday's game. So yeah, both Lucky and Joko, for me, I think do take the top spot.
Well, you mentioned the maps, Davey, and I think it's about time we delve into the veto. So do you want to walk us through maybe what you're expecting for this game?
Yeah, sure. Let me bring this up real quick. So the permaban from Double Pony's been Mirage. That should just continue. Vertigo is going to get banned out from Havu. For some reason, they don't play it. Not sure why. I guess they just don't like it. Maybe they don't feel like they want to commit the time to learning it. But that should be the permabans from both teams, especially given that Havu is very good on Mirage. So Double Pony will definitely ban that one out. Yep, there it is. This should be the Vertigo ban from Havu, as always. Now, when it comes to the picks, Double Pony is pretty much going to pick Dust 2. It's been their bread and butter the entire time, and I would expect to see Havu pick Train, especially because Double Pony has not looked good on it. That should be pretty much just the Dust 2 and Train pick. After that, once we get to third rotation, that's where it sort of gets interesting, because I wouldn't be surprised to see an overpass third map here. Both teams have shown they can play it. Both teams have shown that they liked it, but it's either going to be overpass or nuke, I think, for that third map.
But we can see exactly how that will be playing out. But yeah, that Dust 2 pick, I don't think that's any surprise coming into this one, Jackie, considering what we've seen of Double Pony so far.
I'm actually kind of sorry, Jackie, but I'm kind of curious that it's surprising to me that Double Pony were the ones who banned out Overpass, given they have a 75% win rate on it. I thought Havu might be the ones to ban it out, and I figured Double Pony would be the ones to ban out Inferno. So they kind of flipped that on its head there. I thought just looking at the win rates, looking at the results from this event so far, I figured Double Pony would probably ban out Inferno. They haven't looked super consistent on it. They got the win yesterday, but it wasn't super convincing. And Havu, they haven't been super convincing on Overpass. So they sort of flipped those on me. I'm not sure how that really happened, but we ended up on Nuke as the third map either way. So.
Yeah, and we will potentially be seeing that third map decider if we need it. But first of all, we've got to get in our first destination, which will be Dust 2. So guys, take it away with map number 1.
Alrighty then, Dust 2 to kick us off. Davies, most hated map, absolutely despises it. I love a bit of D2, so I'm glad this is where we start off the series. For Havu as well, mate, this is where it could become a bit of a risky predicament if we see some of those misplays that we had last time around.
Yeah, they need to find some way to hold off on those B hits that they just weren't able to stop. Those mid to Bs were killer for them yesterday. Sprout was taking full advantage of that. They need to find some way to shut that down. Maybe move that maybe get a second op or move Zore towards that mid to B side of the map. We did see a lot that he was towards the car, towards long, going aggressive on short, but that didn't stop those mid to B splits or just those fast B hits from coming out.
It didn't at all. A lot of what rides on this as well for me in terms of how it kicks off is I want to see the pistol, mate. D2 pistol, right? We've seen how sick the Finns have been on those pistol rounds. They've been unbelievable. Zore's been hitting some really nice shots. X7's come out at times. So I think this is one of those where Double Pony, they could be in for a rude awakening if they're not careful.
Was that rides in and kicks off? Was that an intentional pun on the Double Pony thing?
Might be, mate. Might be, mate.
Yeah, it felt like
don't try and ride in crop my puns.
Yeah, they're riding in and kicking off here on Dust 2 as Double Pony is looking to take down Havu and qualify for Flashpoint 3. This is the 5th place decider. Whichever team wins this does qualify for the main event. Havu versus Double Pony. First map here, Dust 2.
Here we go then. Into the pistol. Havu on the CT side, Double Pony on the T side. And this is what I was talking about. CT pistol. For Havu, they have been sick on the USPs, dude. And again, towards long, they're tested, and they're going to show you why you do not want to be walking into the crosshair of Aerial on long today.
Yeah, they fed Ariel some pistol frags, and we were talking about maybe it's just because he didn't get the chance to get into the game yesterday. Well, today, he's immediately in the game as he gets 2 headshots on those players coming out long. And now Joko and Lucky, they just sort of spread out. They're holding for any aggression, and Zori's actually going to give them what they want, but that's not what Lucky wanted as he gets a bullet to the head. Zori getting aggressive in upper B tunnels. He's about to spot out Joko. Joko needs to do something wild here if he wants to win this 1v5. And no wildness is going to be happening as Zore pushing forward, getting to Aerial with 2 towards long to open it up. And Havu starting off strong here in the opening pistol.
That's nice. That was the big play. That's where they needed to come in strong. And obviously, as we were saying, right, Aerial, he gets himself those 2 picks. This is way better. Yesterday, on long, he was pretty much avoided for the most part. By the time he was able to start playing CS, the map was nearly over. So here, he's awake early on, but I've been woken up by this. The Deagle play is coming out immediately. So we've got the 3 Deags, 1 Tech 9, and a single scout on Afro, who has got a tag out. Slowy on the cross. Lost a little bit of health there. 40 HP, just wiped off him.
Yeah, a little bit of damage done. We do see that counter nade coming. Oh, somehow he just manages to dodge that. But Zora's in this super advanced position. If that flash comes out, Slowy spots him. So Double Pony just want to slowly make their way up short here. They want to try to get that execute off so they can scale into the site and get that bomb down. We saw teams yesterday do this really consistently. We saw some wins actually too on these rounds, always with the Deagles. These short executes can work. Ariel is here with Slowy, so they do have this 3-man setup here to try to stop this.
Smokes and flashes go in. The entire site fully shrouded in the smokes now. Slowy waiting towards CT to try and protect his teammates. NBK's already slipped off and now has to make a big play. If he can take down the long players, he can give them breathing room to plant the bomb. Instead, he gets tagged by the scout. Slowy doing more damage with the support of X7, but the Deagles are starting to swing. Sweet Deagle music as everyone's going down, and X7, he'll be left frowning here. Not much HP to play with. 13 switches out to the scout, favoring that over the SMG. Scared about the peek from behind the box. It's a 1v2. Needs to hit the headshots. There we go. That's one. Joko, the last on the site. Is he going to hit him with the kukli? Goes for the jump, but misses it. Could have been a sick play, but it's not enough. Now he's really in dismay. Flicking around, pitches the pistol, but he can't hit it as Joko will take him down and Double Pony. They win the Deagle round.
Yeah, those short executes working again. They just walk their way up, not really contested towards middle. They tried to show a little bit of contest, but instead they rotate over towards A. They had 3 people there, and the big one there was Ariel, only able to get 1 kill from the ramp with the M4. He gets the 1 and is immediately traded. And that is, he just didn't stay alive for long enough. You could see that his long players, Slowy and X7, trying to actually keep fighting though, right? Like after they got pushed off the corner, normally you would fall back deep, you'd fall back to pit, fall back to the long corner and hold for any aggression towards the ramp. But Slowy with the scout decided to stay aggressive, and even though he was able to land a tag, he's just immediately traded, just killed right away. And so there was not really any presence towards that long area, and it's because of that Double Pony was able to just peek out, swing, and get those free kills. If you'd fallen back to the pit with the scout, probably would have been able to pick one of those up at least. But instead, Double Pony winning the eco again. And we see the full buyout. All rifles. We've got 3 Galils, an AK, and an M4. And they've slowly taken top mid control here. Taking it from lower. And they are walking back towards long. And the sole defender here is X7. And he doesn't have armor, so he's playing this headshot angle.
He is channeling the 60% win chance of the Deagolometer, but he doesn't fancy his chances here on the first peek as he spots them all out. Info secured, but frags definitely not. Missing with the Deagle. Not working well to slow down the long push as eventually they claim control. Made up onto the site there. There's a nice tag onto Joker, but that's basically all they're going to do. Purely damage, no kills here.
Yeah, that's 3 kills for MBK. The classic 3-2 split. 3 players go up long, 2 up short. MBK's able to get all 3 kills. There's a big round from him as now Double Pony. Like you were saying, not even any kills found yet. If Yemi can just get 1, might be able to do a little bit of damage, possibly recover a gun. With the entire team saving in pit, this is gonna be a tall task for him if he can even find 1 kill.
Lucky's just watching it as well. They're all just ready on the angle. No one's going to go out. No one will be coming into his longhouse. He could go for the desperation play, you know, maybe just on the swing, have a run in, full John Rambo. In reality, though, Lucky's just going to bang him out, so probably just the mutual save.
Yeah, he shouldn't really try to go for it. This is about as far as he should push. Keep that armor. Still has a smoke as well. It's important on these eco rounds to still smoke the door cross, because otherwise you're giving the Double Pony team all the info they could want. So even on these ecos, it's important to smoke that cross, make sure they don't know if there is a stack taking place, where it is, etc. So I'm assuming we're going to see him use that there. And here it comes. Oh, no, he didn't. All right, so info allowed to be gained. We can see Lucky here. He's got all the info. He knows exactly how many cross towards B. He knows it's only 1, and that is exactly why Body is just going into the B site for free, and that's why you need to smoke the cross even on the eco rounds.
Nightmare. Body up in the window kills X7. MBK has gone down at least, but it's only a Galil that will be recovered on Slowy. If they could pass it to Yemi, I mean, he has got armor as well, so Galil could find some use into the following round. They are going to be pushing straight into T-spawn, and Lucky's there. He'll really want to do some damage, holds the angle. The gut shot's coming out. Whoa, not even probiotics had fixed that one, mate.
No, not even a little bit. The A1S, just too strong for all biotics. Antibiotics, probiotics, just the best weapon.
Well, technically, antibiotics are the counter probiotics. So, like, if you go on antibiotics, you should take probiotics to get your gut bacteria back.
Oh.
There you go. Although, the other science is available, probably. But I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, even if it's not, I mean, doesn't.
I've said it now. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Yeah. Doesn't even matter. Say whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want.
Within reason. Within reason.
Yeah.
Double pony. Not being quite reasonable here, though, are they? They've killed them multiple times, Davey, and they've taken 3 rounds, which, you know, in my book, a bit mean. But definitely for them, a good way to start off D2 here coming into the day. This is the real meat and potatoes, though. Here we go. This is where it gets juicy, right? Look at the buys coming in. Afro, he's on an AWP. We also get Zore. Big CT green gun. He's the one that has to start getting some fun done for the Finnish side. We'll see if he actually gets anything out of this. I thought that was going to be a kill on the cross as well.
They just keep making this mistake of not smoking the long cross, or sorry, the mid cross. Not going to matter, though, as 2 kills come out at long. That's 1 for Joko. He gets that trade immediately off of his teammate Lucky, who went down, and somehow Zore missing the easy shot. MBK immediately gets that pick onto Slowy. Ooh, and this could cause problems here. If Zore is not on point, that was an easy shot for him. Yesterday, we would have been seeing him hit that all day. And if that's a sign of things to come, this could be getting really bad for Havu. They've already lost that A site. The long cross is going to come out, and this should just be the save from the remaining CTs.
They're backing up. They are conceding it. MBK's in lower. Looks like Yemi does have the angle covered, though, towards middle. A lot of this just goes down to how he actually opts to play it, right? Because obviously, money-wise, MBK, he could afford to run the risk here, go for a bit of a hunt. He is peering in towards the B site now, walking towards upper. Zore's there. He's on a good angle. Back plat. Should be a free frag with the AWP. And at that point, I don't think they'll run much more of a risk. MBK not peeking out either just yet. Seeing if they will be exiting, but they've got no reason to.
Yeah, they don't really have any reason to be pushing into the tunnels. Double Pony can definitely afford to send 1, maybe 2 people hunting here. You don't want any more than that. You need to keep your economy up. And now, Yemi did spot out that player in CT. Ooh, and that's actually called to the rotation from Zora. He wants to try to pick him up, but Joko... Oh, man, both of them are going to go down. Oh, maybe.
Oh. Hey!
As I said, I was like, Did I ruin it for him? I'm sorry.
God,
it's funny because Body realized, you could tell that's someone who doesn't really play with the A1 right there.
Yeah.
And he was just sort of whiffing, then he was like, oh, wait, just aim at the head. Tap, tap. And the guy just, you know what I mean?
Hang on a minute. I just need to slow it down. And
yeah. Also, speaking of science, and probiotics, did you know that there's certain probiotics now that have been proven to reduce anxiety?
Really? Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Your gut actually controls like an awful lot of stuff, like your mood, your like fatigue, dude. Probiotics are big, man. I take probiotics. They're huge. I sleep way better ever since I did.
No, it's true. Yeah, probiotics every day. And I have a family member who works at a lab that is producing quite a few of the big ones. So I've got a solid supply.
Big pro.
Yeah. Big pro.
Lucky. Let's see if he'll be a big pro here.
Oh.
Straight through the door. Good night. So no cheeky plays there from Slow's advance angle towards Longhouse. That's the bit of map control they did take gone. And we're now back into a really T-favored round.
Yeah, and Ariel's invested into just an M4 and light armor. So he needs to try to find something into this round. He's just going to be sitting towards A. I guess they're just going for the A stack here, right? They're just going to gamble. They're going to leave all 3 of these players here. If they go out mid to B, if they go out B, then they just take the save. Ariel's does have that M4 and armor, so not the end of the world. Oh, Yemi wants something here towards upper B, and Joko wants something as well, but that's not what it was. Yemi takes him down, and now this split is coming out. So we see the 1 player towards long, and the other 3 Ts are working their way up short, but Yemi's actually pushed right through B and has all this info.
He can thwart this massively. It's also the read he's given to Harvey means they'll know that this is where the play is coming. They're set up. It's a 2-man setup on the A site. 1 in Zore, lurking towards Pit, waiting to make the play, but they are going to bombard out onshore. X7, first contact with the Deagle, tag but no frag. Ariel trades it back from the ramp as he rips the head clean off of NBK. Easy for 2. That's a hat trick, but finally Lucky appears on the scene all the way from down in long. Double kill, but no time. You can't get the round, mate. It's gone.
Yeah, no time. That long lurk just coming out just a little bit too late. I was a little bit worried about it for Havu because the only player that they actually had towards long was just, I think it was Zore with the USP inside of pit. So if that long lurk came out, if it came out early, he wouldn't have actually been able to hold Lucky off, and that could have potentially flanked Ariel and not allowed him to get those 3 kills. But because that long lurk came out so late, Ariel was able to fight from the ramp, get those 3 kills. The spacing, the timing was not good there from Double Pony. So Ariel, with that force buy on the M4 light armor, is able to save the round for Havu as time ran out. What a nade.
Yeah, that was a chunky one, mate. It's like 2 nades in one. It's like when you get those big eggs. Ooh, there we go. Joko cracking open the site like an egg, though. As they walk their way in, they can get that bomb down now. So it's a 4v5 in terms of the retake. But actually, it looks like they're already backing off on this one. Seems like the save call is made. Running the risk is not what they want to do. Body, though. This isn't going to be risky for him. This will be oh so easily. But please, no. He's walking in. Big boy Butcher Pete. But he won't be chopping that meat. He'll use his AK instead.
Oh, he really wanted to knife him, though. You
Yeah.
could see it. He was just worried about somebody else just appearing from the tunnels, potentially killing him, and then that would have been, that could have just been like, they could have actually retaked at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Retook?
Retaken.
They could have retaken at that point. Yeah, that's true. That works better, doesn't it? Who knows? Could be any of them, really.
Yeah, I think they're all applicable in some way. It just depends on when we say the tense of the game is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if we say, wow, that was a great round, Double Pony. What a good one.
What a good one.
What a good one. Previous tense. It was great.
Well, again, see, this is what we were talking about in that pregame, is that Havu not able to stop these B plays, right? It was just Yemi again alone in that site. He gets immediately taken out. No rotation, no flashes able to be thrown for him. He keeps playing in positions where he just gets picked off. He's not able to play for info. He's not able to do really anything. No flashes or no nades are allowed to come out from his teammates in the rotator position, so he just goes straight down. That was the B site just given over to Double Pony very quickly yet again. So Havu needs to find some way to deal with those plays if they want to have a chance on this one, because Double Pony, if they watch back the Sprout game yesterday, they could just do exactly what Sprout did over and over again. It doesn't seem like Havu has the ability to stop it, and the flash misses. And so Slowy's able to get a kill for free onto Lucky as he tries to retake that long tunnel. His teammate absolutely sabotaging him there with that missed flash. So now Double Pony to react is putting this pressure towards mid.
Pressure on X7, trying to relieve some of it by putting holes into them. BK will deflate Joko. He'll peek out towards upper tons and be able to tackle one. Zore, flash off the wall, buys a bit of time to back up towards the big box. He's scared about where these peaks are coming from, though. Again, realigns his focus towards window. They're already in the site, but now he's dead. His body's broken, and Afro's the last one left in a 1v3. No more to find. Zore will flick through him with the AWP.
Yeah, he does, and that's a good hold from Zore there. He was able to help out his teammate towards mid, able to pick up one of those kills, immediately flicking over, trading onto that guy, trying to come out through the B tunnels. Very well done, and just keeping himself alive, backing up, making sure that split can't come out. So very well done from him. I was a little bit worried earlier when he missed that easy shot, but he's showing that he's back in the game already. No, ooh, Afro just spots it, takes the shot. Yeah, he has to crouch down under it. Look at him, he knows. He knows that Zore was there and waiting for him. Bait peek from Havu there. Working out very well as they do get out towards long, and they get this long control. And Havu, they can't really decide if they want to fight for it, if they want to back off.
They do fight. Oh, they have to be crisp to hit the shot onto MBK, but that's exactly what they are. And now, with the numbers trading equally, there's only 6 players alive on the server. In an even split of 3v3, Zore towards middle. It is smoked off, but right behind it, there's 2 Ts waiting to plant a bullet right between his eyes. Instead, it's a couple into his thighs, leaving him on 36 HP. He's holding on the angle still. He knows that the barbarians of Double Pony are banging on the door right on the other side. He'll flash over. His teammates now supporting him as well. There is a good amount of time left. You've got 56 seconds here for the Ts. They have a smoke, a flash, and a molly as well, and they are just sat in mids. They can play off the back of this. No need to panic yet.
Yeah, this is actually okay from Havu's point of view, because even though they're down, or sorry, even though it's a 3 versus 3, so it makes it hard for the defense to, you can't watch everything. But with Zorre here, actually, and he knows that they were towards lower, yeah, he can watch for that cross for when they go up short. And because they have this player, X7, advanced so deep into long, they can gamble this towards mid and B. They don't have to actually worry about short. They can just play for the retake. That's exactly what they're doing, as the T's are going to make their way up short here, and this should call for the rotation from Havu. We are going to see the flank come out on short, but they still have pit control. X7 sitting in the bottom there, which means that the post plants from Double Pony are not going to be in strong positions.
Lucky on Shoxy, 20 HP. So that Deagle could take him down. Instead, he won't give him the chance. He'll slip off himself and play towards CT. X7, meanwhile, comes up on long and hits a nice shot onto Afro, taking his head and hair with him to the Nether Realm. But will this be Never Neverland for Lucky? Looks like it, as X7 in the end hits him, jumping up, spots him through the smoke. And just like that, it's a retake from Havu. Back on the site, we go 5-4. So D2 at least looking a little bit closer now. Now we've had a couple of rounds to analyze.
Yeah, that round was well played by Havu. Their rotations were good. It seemed like for a second there they were really hesitating over whether or not they wanted to fight for long, right? You could see the players sort of going back and forth. They were like, one was here, one was there, and they couldn't really decide if they actually wanted to swing out and fight. They do decide to do it. They win out on the trades. That first pick was so important on the player boosted up over the blue bin. So he gets taken down, and they are able to reclaim long control from Double Pony. That forced that reaction, like I was saying, towards middle, towards short, where Zorre was able to pick up that pick, not allow them to get up short for free. So well done. Well played. Now Double Pony forced onto these Deagles, and last time we saw them here, it got really dangerous, but Zorre making middle a dangerous part of the map for Double Pony as he takes down the headshot onto MBK, and again, Double Pony doing the same thing they did last time, just trying to slowly work their way up short, and Slowy missing out on pretty much all of his bullets. They're not able to connect, but still, kill comes out from Zorre, so now short control's gained, and Double Pony again is going to try to do this execute.
They're only down to the 3 Musketeers on the T side, though. They have actually been able to get themselves into CT. They push out back at middle. Easy pick from Yemi and Zorre. Yemi for his final frag of the round as well, as the AK will snap onto Afro's noggin. So they do go 5-5. No crazy Deagle plays coming out on that one. The rifle was actually winning for once.
Yeah, no, not this time. Zorre's up towards mid, just able to get those picks, right? Double Pony, not able to find those Deagle shots like they were last time. Last time they were able to just get all the way up short for free and just execute, right? And everything sort of fell apart for Havu. This time Zorre with that op towards mid. And this was actually something that we pointed out in the pregame, remember, that we thought that Havu should try moving this op towards mid, more towards B, because just having it towards A the whole time just wasn't working out for them yesterday.
No, not at all. It wasn't giving them what they needed. It's also some of the positions we saw going out from Zorre as well, where he likes to take those really advanced aggressive angles where it kind of is one and done. High risk, high reward. He wasn't getting a lot of reward for it yesterday. This time around, he's playing a little bit more reserved and supporting the team in a better manner. I like this aggro play, though. X7 out on short, flashed over. He does try and drop the nade in. Won't actually land into the lower tons players. There was 2 of them there, so it could have been quite a chunky one, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he tried nading Xbox. He thought they had already made it out and were potentially maybe going to be throwing that mid to B smoke or trying to jump up, but he was just a few seconds early. And so instead, no nade damage found. Molotov coming out towards the stairs, but the map control isn't actually lost from Havu. They still have this advanced player that is X7, and this is the fast B split.
Yemi, hello. He realised they're all in behind him. Will he be able to bait it out? Trying to play on the anti-flash angle, watching the door whilst his teammate will do all the damage instead. Finally has an opportunity. He'll flick back around. Oh, body towards middle. It seemed like maybe he'd be able to find his way through the doors and cause some carnage, but no, we're back on Lucky then in a 1v3, 30 seconds to work with. He's now in the Yemi angle. Let's see if he can channel his energy. Not at all. When the OG's there, the real McCoy's the one that wins out.
Yeah, that B setup from Havu, like you were saying, it was kind of scary. It was a little bit risky because they had that player close on the box, back turned to that smoke, but he knew that that smoke was behind him and it was covering him, and slowly from back sight is able to multi-frag out on the Double Pony players trying to come into B. And so far, all the weaknesses we saw yesterday from Havu, they've addressed them, right? They've put Zorre towards mid. We saw there again that they had multiple players inside of that B site, and they were ready to stop that B play from Double Pony. So Havu, they know what their weaknesses were yesterday, and we can see that they are at the very least trying to address them here today.
Double Pony, this is one of those rounds where I will again be giving them a little bit of stock. You've got a couple of Eagles, but you also have the scout on MBK as well. Finally making his move down Suicide. Look at the setup as well. Right now, mid is just a gigantic welcome mat. It's open, you could run in, you could rub your muddy feet on it. Havu are just playing 3 towards A and 2 out on B here. Zore is holding it from the crossover at least. If they go out mid to B, they will be spotted, but that's not where they're going. Up short, using these smokes and utility to brute force their way into the site still means they're going to be running into the scope of Zore. Molly dropped, close now in CT. Afro, hello, the P250 headshot, whilst he is full sprint in towards him, windmilling like an absolute nutter. But here comes the main lunatic, Yemi in the backline with one, flicks up, body doing damage though, as the Deagle apparently is overpowered for this boy. They've got sight control. They can play off the back of this, but they don't quite realise Slowy's angle. They finally spotted him. They know now. They're going to try and not expose themselves, but when they do, they'll do it confidently. Oh, that's big from Body. Huge round there.
Oh, it's happened again. Double Pony. If they let them get short control for free, this is what happens. They walk all the way up with the Deagles and Body, hitting 3 huge 1Ds. And Havu just not able to hold that back, right? We saw Zore go down because of that CT drop, that player dropping into CT. I believe it was Afro. Like you said, just holding W, just running at Zore, getting that running one tap. Zore goes down. And then the Havu players, again, they're so advanced in their position that they're just not able to get those kills. Body hitting 2 really nice shots, and Afro getting the tag onto Zore there as well. So on the 6-6 round, everything's all tied up. Everything's in the balance. Zore has decided to move this up towards that B site, and he's going to be baiting for Yemi. So you can see Havu here. They have that player in pit. That is Aerial. One player towards the ramp, that's X7, but they have this heavy mid to B setup here with 1 player in CT spawn and 2 players dedicated towards this B site. So they are expecting a B play here.
Slowy immediately unloading in case he was still close behind the door, then tries to connect on the cross, knows they're heading their way up short. Info will be passed over to the rest of the teammates as he has got a bit of a read on this. Afro, wary, was hoping to see if there would be anything through the smoke, but no bold plays today as they at least keep it relatively standard for now. Still 50 seconds on the clock as Double Pony start to take short.
Yeah, they do, and they do have all these nades for this execute, but I'm thinking with the positioning, I think if we see it from Joko and Lucky, I have a feeling this might be a fake execute, and they drop down into a fast mid to B. There's potential for that, because you can see they have that player going over towards B tunnels. Maybe not. I think they are actually just going to send it here. Oh no, yeah, there they go.
There you go. That's the read that you called NBK as well with the backstab, but such an effective one. He actually gets ahead of them. Doesn't realise they're scared about pushing through the smokes. He's now fighting from CT. Joko does not stop. Oh, barrel in the face. MVK taking the 1v1 towards CT. Slowy's there on like 7 HP. The spray will eventually connect and shut him down. And Aerial up on short, trying to work out what on earth has gone on with this round. They were expecting the A play to come out, and they get thwarted with a very late round B.
Yeah, Havu had the read from the beginning, but they second-guessed themselves once Double Pony had gotten full short control, and they knew. Because Double Pony has had such success this game, going for those short executes, you could see Havu was worried about it, and so that even though they had that 2-1-2 setup with the player in CT, they do second-guess themselves. They rotate him up over towards A, and I could see it, obviously looking at the radar, we have a little bit of extra information, but it looked like based on the positioning of the other players that it was going to be the fake mid to B, and we saw I think who was it that dropped into CT spawn there? Was that
What, MBK?
Was it MBK? Yeah, so MBK dropped into CT spawn, and then that way they don't actually have to throw the mid to B smoke, right? He just drops into CT. They have the smoke covering them on the ramp. MBK's in CT spawn, and they can run up mid to B for free, and Zore missing a crucial shot as they came out of the doors. And so that was the end of Havu in that round, and again, those mid to B splits. Havu, they recognized that it was an issue. We could see them playing for it at the beginning of the round, but the conditioning from Double Pony being so successful on those short executes forced Havu to be wary of it. They rotate up towards A. They have that 3A setup, and the mid to B split just works wonders. Again, though, if Zore was able to get that opening pick, I think it was Yemi in upper B who wasn't able to get the pick on the guy coming through the tunnels as well. He was able to get that one, then maybe something else could have changed, but instead, now they're on the full eco, and this is just cleanup crew from Double Pony towards top mid.
It's good as well. You can see, obviously, with the setup immediately coming into this, knowing the economy is going to be in a trampled position, they just play their default.
Nope.
Maybe one kill I thought they were going to get, but no, not even at the end there. Slowy, just the dink, nothing more than that. But yeah, that was a nice round from Double Pony, just holding, playing on the anti-eco, cleaning up. Didn't get too hair-raising towards outside long. Felt like maybe there would have been a bit of a chance with the upset with the 3 players coming around. But in the end, normality does win out. So we do go 8-6 here. Last round of the half then, this will either be 9-6 or an 8-7.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones where it seems like in the first time this game, Double Pony did have multiple long spawns, and you can see they are going to be taking advantage of this as they go out fast, and they're slowly immediately taken down by MBK. Afro's able to find one on the B aggression too. He throws that Molotov to try to cancel them out, and Zorai did get into the advanced position, but that smoke by his teammate does alert the Hopper from Double Pony that this push could have potentially happened. So Zorai with the B tunnels control, but Double Pony has all of long.
I've also got so much time on the clock because the sheer speed that they found these opening kills, they can wait this one out forever. They don't have to make their play yet. They can see if there's an overextension from Havu, if someone else gives up the goose right. If Zorai goes for the info play into upper tunnels, that should be shut down by Afro on the cross. At that point, you've only got 2 players to contend with. He can then smoke out B, so they don't even have to worry about going into A. Actually, the big timing play could be absolutely everything. I mean, he's flashed in, so Zorai does now know he's there. Obviously, he'd still favour the AWP in this fight, but he won't get a chance to spot him in his scope. He rotates over because it's got a little bit late. Now they want to make their play up long and go for the main assault. Talking of Salt, body probably a little bit annoyed off the back of that one as X7 hits the first. Here we go then, a close round here, 4v3, the CT's trapped by car, X7, he's burning, and he really is going to be burnt out of position as the AWP shot will land onto him. Another AWPer might get a chance to shine as well. Afro in the backline. He's going to try and stay alive in pit for the late round. Ariel's the one that has to take the fight on the site. Zorai building that flank for so long, but Afro wins it out from the pit position, and we do go 9-6.
Yeah, I think that if Ariel was able to get that pick onto the player towards long there right at the end, if he was able to get that kill, then that would have forced Afro to be trying to look towards top site, right? So he would have been scoped in on top site, he would have been looking for that trade kill, and that could have opened up the space for Zorai to get that flank. But because Ariel's not able to get his kill, Afro realizes, I don't need to help the team get into site right now. They're fine. I'm going to turn around and watch my back, and that's exactly what he did. He's able to find that flank that was coming in from Zorai. And so, yeah, Double Pony pick up their 9th. Overall, a really good T-side half from them.
No, it wasn't bad at all. Coming in and pretty strong into this one. Obviously, you take the pistol as well. So, I mean, sorry, for Harvey, they took the pistol, right? And obviously then just got completely reset. So, it was a bit of a rough one for them, really. We were starting to praise the fact it looked like they had gotten into their groove in the CT side a bit. Zorai playing in a more efficient manner, but that was only for the mid-rounds. Towards the end of the half, Double Pony really came out full strength. Talking of a big play here, though. Look, on this pistol, close towards middle. Afro, he's got to dive in from behind, up on short. He gets locked into 2 fights at once. Has to bail out on NBK, so he'll suffer the consequences. At least Afro can get away. So we are on a 4-on-4, but HP advantage massively favouring the horses.
Yeah, they are, and they went in fast there. You know, they were taking for those fast peaks off short, more like a Mustang, really. Now, the flash does come out, though, and he's full blind behind the stairs, and Lucky is able to find 2! Somehow, from behind the stairs, gets on blind, peeks up, and is able to find 2 frags in there. He shows his back to X7, tries to scare him away, jumps up, spins around, makes it hard for the shot to hit, and Double Pony, out of nowhere, when that flash play came up short, I thought for sure that was going to be the frags from Havu, but Lucky, from behind the stairs, comes up with 2 absolutely massive kills to secure the second half pistol round for Double Pony.
It looked like one of those. You flick to his POV, and you're like, all right, just rebrand to unlucky because you're going to get done in. But instead, he just went off. Apparently, he did have a 4-leaf clover in his back pocket, man. 2 kills he gets away with. Completely debunks the round, really. And Havu, they do the only thing you can do. Invest into Deagles and win the round, I guess. Straight out long, NBK. See you later. His lips have been removed surgically by the Deagle. And now, They set their focus back on short once again. Quicker round from Havu here.
Yeah, they don't have any nades, so they just need to run up and swing. They have these Glock players trying to get across. Aerial immediately goes down. That's one of the Deagles. Good counter flash. Good nades. X7 trying to grab onto one of those Deagles, but Double Pony not wanting that to happen, and that is the kill. And it's one of those ones where, you know, some players just full saved, just the Glocks in hand. Some players bought the Deagles, and now, because they decided not to force buy there, their buy this round is very weird because they don't even have a single Molotov, right? Some flashes, 4 smokes. So the util's not terrible, but it's not great either. Aerial with no head armor. That's one of those ones where I feel like if you're going to buy the Deagles into that round, you might as well, you know, actually buy, right? Like, actually go for the buy and take the eco this round if you lose. When you do one of those buys that they just did where, like, 2 or 3 players just have a Deagle, no armor, then they spend enough money that their buy isn't good enough this round, but they also didn't spend enough money last round to make it worth spending, if that makes sense. So, for me personally, I just don't like those buys. I think it really hurts them on these gun rounds. But because it is a little bit of a bonus round from Double Pony, still the 2 MP9s and the FAMAS. The FAMAS, obviously the worst weapon that they have in their inventory right now.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think that, well, I mean, but would you rather have an MP9 or a FAMAS, Jackie? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. I'm not going to lie to you. If I had an MP9, you know, a couple bullets in the head, it's just funner to use as well. Just more,
it is.
You know, I don't know. It's a tactile
because you know
gun.
you have it, right? So you like intentionally play in a way that is advantaged for the MP9.
Yeah,
right.
Plus
So
it lets you get off for free as well. So when your IGL's, you know, just beating down, and you can be like, well, look, I had an MP9, I had to rush lower. What else? Do you want me
I had
do?
to.
Yeah, I was going to lose the round if I played side.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Hold long from top sight? No, of course I'm going to push through their long smoke. That's not my fault. It's the gun I had.
You held mouse 1 and W from spawn. Yeah. But we did win the game.
It was a distraction technique is what it was. You just don't understand my tactics.
It's really expensive decoy.
And you're supposed to be the in-game leader. What a joke.
Where's your brain gone? Afro. Let's see if he can start to rip some brains out through the heads of the Harvey players, though. He waits for the push. He's ready for this one. Havu, they love a short take. Oh, here we go. Slow E. None of that. No jumping shots, please, today. As he does play on the angle, looking for the face. You would have thought you would have won out on that engagement, but the Famous clearly blessed into that encounter. Blind, Afro. He's able to gun the first one down. Gemmy, he knows there's 2 men towards long. Can only win out on 1. Apparently NBK can play the whole way away with the MP9 and still pop off with a weapon as the SMG stunts the push on the A site and forces Zore to wide swing out and try and cleave through them. Can't get the double kill though. Not even 1 frag, Davey. It's all on aerial, and the MP9s really do clutch it out for him. Double Pony, 12-6.
Yeah, Zore, when he wide swung there in CT spawn, I thought he might have that chance. They did line up, but he was only just able to spot a leg through the smoke and not able to connect his shots. And again, we see the star player from yesterday just not quite able to connect how he was. So, Double Pony now up onto 12, and that forces Havu onto this Deagle save. But we actually see two P250s coming out from Havu instead of Deagles. What's going on?
I know, this is unexpected, Dave. This isn't.
Do they not even care?
This isn't meant to happen. This is lowering their win percentage, as you can see, visually represented here. They're dying. Hello? Davey?
They obviously needed more Deagles, as we've seen time and time again in this Flashpoint qualifier. I wonder if buying P250s, not only does it, like, obviously lower your degometer, but does it also lower just your overall chance? Like if you start the round with like a 5% chance for every P250, does it just like go down by 1%? Like it's just actually making you less likely to win. Because they didn't even get a kill there. And throughout this entire event, we have seen these guys on Deagles able to just win any round that feels like they should never be able to.
You know, there's so many people just sat there like every time they tune in. They've got no context for any of it, just molding in the background going, what do you mean it's 20% per Deagle? This just doesn't add up.
This doesn't make sense. That means every time if you bought 5 Deagles, you'd have a 100% chance of winning. Okay. X7 is able to get 2 up on the short. Slowy.
Slowy? His name's Slowy, but he shouldn't be that slow.
Lagging. He's lagging.
He must be.
Lagging.
He must be. He's got to be lagging. Either that or hands off keyboard. Give him benefit of the doubt.
Guys, I was cleaning. I was itching my nose right when he walked through the smoke, man.
You'd never believe it. My turtle got stuck on the wardrobe. I've had to take my hand off the mouse.
It actually did look like right there that he actually didn't have his hand on his mouse.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
You could see even when he turned and tried to start shooting at him, you could see like the jolt in the crosshair of him like grabbing his mouse quickly. You know what I mean?
He might have been having a tactical scratch.
Yeah, that might have been an itch moment.
See, again, Davey, here's the thing, right? You know, I know we brought out the gamer cloth, but maybe we need to introduce some kind of anti-itch powder for gamers. Keeps the hands nice and dry.
How are you supposed to predict where the itch is going to come?
You pre-apply it to the areas, you know what I mean? Like back of the ear, on the nose, and then on the palms.
Oh, dude, honestly, I feel like I get more of my itches like on my sides. So I would just have to powder my whole body. I would just be full powdered.
I'll come over. I'll do it for you.
Oh, that would be so much better. Yeah.
I'll come see you after the game.
All right, sounds good.
After the game, though, because right now it is still live, and Havu, they have a chance still. It's T-side D2. They've got a bye. You do have the AWP on Zorre. Zorre, only 10 to 13. You think about, like, his prevalence in any of the series we've seen from Havu, right? He's been the big top fragger from the get-go the entire time. We look at him normally at a point like this, you expect like 25 frags. The fact he's only on 10, it is a bit of an eyebrow raiser.
Yeah, this is what we saw early in the game. Remember, like I said, it's weird because Oppers are they're weird people, right? So when you see and he's just not able to connect. He does spot out Lucky, but yeah, Oppers, when he missed that really easy shot in that one of those first rounds in the game, the guy just walked around the corner and lower, and he missed a shot. I remember thinking, I even said it at the time. I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good for Havu, because if your Oppers missing easy shots like that, and that's like one of the first shots he gets to take of the game, and you could see he just wasn't feeling it. And sometimes that happens, right? Players just have off days. There's nothing you can do about it, but you could sense it. When an Opper's missing a shot, it's kind of like when a player gets a bunch of kills on pistol round, you're like, oh, they're in this game. You know, like they're feeling it. Like that's how you get warmed up, right? And Zorre there, you could tell he was like, yo, he just wasn't ready. He wasn't feeling it. And so far, we haven't been able to see him hit the heights that he was on yesterday.
Right now, they're sat on the heights of short, though. Just waiting. Timing-wise, we've got 50 seconds on the clock again. Obviously, utility is there. 2 smokes, one on Yemi, one on Zorre. You have some flashes and also a lot of offensive utility to actually take control of the site with those 3 Molotovs in the deeply lined pockets. But lying in wait for this push is going to be Afro with the AWP. 30 seconds. When they commit to this, he has to be crisp. If he can hold it back and at least delay for his teammates to rotate, then it should look pretty good for the CTs. Molotov goes out. They bait around it. 20 seconds now. We're getting close towards the crunch time. Afro just watching by the baskets, but is he going to be a basket case? Instead, it will be Lucky to try and get in their faces. He hits the first on 2x7. They've slipped out onto the site now. Afro, goodbye, as he's put to bed, tucked in with a goodnight kiss from Zorre, and the CTs are going to start to put their backs up, Davey.
Yeah, they are. And Ariel, he does need to try to get this long control. They know that MBK's here. Ariel needs to be able to hit this shot. Once he comes to the corner, he's expecting a flash. No flash comes, but he's quickly able to flick over and land that kill, and that does call for the save from the CTs. They were counting on that play from MBK towards long. It's a standard retake setup. You keep that one player towards long, you hold long control, then you can retake from long and CT, and the only post-plant spots they have are site and short. But once MBK loses that fight to Ariel, I was a little worried for him there a sec. You know, he was playing anti-flash, and MBK was just walking up, but we were able to get the kill, and the short execute from Havu, working out, double pony. Despite Lucky getting that pick on the lurker towards mid, no kills able to happen towards the top of the site. That is the 8th round for Havu, and now the grind begins, right? Double pony, they're up to 13. Havu with only 8. They need to start grinding out these rounds on this T side.
It's do or die. First map. It is a best of 3. But keep in mind, neither of these two teams are set in stone yet that they are going to the RMR. You want to be able to win this game. So this first map actually means an awful lot in this series. This isn't for seeding. This is to actually make it to the event. And the fact that D2 could be closed down relatively quickly here, especially if Double Pony come in strong on this round, they're going to be in a great spot for the rest of the game. For Havu, as of right now, they make their move down mid early. Slowly just clearing it out with the blade so we can try and clear the angles. Doesn't see anyone there. They are playing quite lax. Same setup once again from Double Pony, the 3-2.
Yeah, and I just noticed that Yemi doesn't have a knife either. Never bodes well. You need something to distract you sometimes. You know, when you're standing around doing nothing. If he had a knife there, he wouldn't have taken any of that damage. It's just basic science. Now, we do see Havu's actually spread out and gotten a decent amount of map control. So they've taken all the way up short. They haven't actually used a ton of util for this either. We can see a ton of smokes, Molotovs, flashes, everything left for them. And they've just burned out this Molotov from the CTs, actually. So Havu doing a very good job on this T side. They've taken short control. They've burned all the CT util. And now they should be able to get this execute off. So this should honestly be an easy execute for them.
Right, will it be a cakewalk? Or are they going to drown in the batter? Ooh, backing off here quickly. Obviously, they do have the utility to work with. Final 30 seconds. You've got those smokes. Chuck them out. Once again, let's see if they can make this play work, as they will adjust for the late round mid to B. We're slowly trying to drop into CT to shut them down on the cross. 20 seconds now. Here we go. Lucky, he'll hit the first. Spam back from Slowy, but he can't connect. Gap in the smoke as well. Body from the elevated peak. Spots the rear of his head, and he will take his time to take him down. Joko on the site. Only good for one with the AUG. Nothing crazy here. And finally, they've got on the site. Issue is, it's going to be a 3v2 on the retake. And the CTs, they've got a kit. One flash as well for MBK. He's actually coming in towards tunnels. He's going to be the lower tunnels man, so the flash has to go out through upper. Zore would be there, completely exposed at this point with Ariel having to watch his back. Needs to cover the cross. Baited off though on the timing. Tried to adjust, wanted to take the fight with a different player. Tried to hit Afro. MBK is going to swing, and Double Pony will pick up the pieces to get a 14th.
Such a good heads-up play there from Body. He jumps across the door, drags Zora's crosshair. Afro's right there to peek and get the frag. They don't expect the lower flank, and that was MBK. But I want to point out from Havu there, I'm always hesitant to give criticism for things that one team just like couldn't have known, right? Because obviously we have all these tools at our disposal, so that, you know, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
But Havu there, they intentionally burned out all of the util from the A players on Double Pony, right? They burned out those counter smokes, they burned out the Molotovs, and they had full nades for that short execute. And once you burn out all that util from Double Pony, you have to be confident in your executes at that point, right? Like, if they don't have any Molotovs to slow you down, if they don't have counter nades, you should be able to execute up short and take that site. And Havu knew that they burned out their utility. It was part of the strat. And instead of actually going for that short execute, they decided to fall back to the mid to B play. And I don't know, it just seems strange to like put all that effort into burning out Double Pony's utility towards A and then not actually executing off of it.
At least this time around, they might be able to have a bit of an easier time executing out onto the B site. Do need to use those smokes on the cross though. Body pushing back up, he's going to be walking down. Afro's also watching it. Meanwhile, there is another AUG in play, and that is on the B site. Lucky firing off warning shots. If they could get out through mid to B, it could have been a nice convergence, but the AUG just shutting them down entirely. Now Joko on the elevated peak will fire down into the hitbox of Slowy and slay him. And it's pretty much as good as done. They're pushing their way up, but I don't think they're going to have a fun time here, especially when Body the Bruiser comes out back and beats them up.
That Molotov actually almost killed Slowy. There was a direct impact there that put him down to 2 HP. That would have been just a little bit more fun. But still now, yeah, this double op from Double Pony's absolutely wrecking Havu. They can't find any entrance to either site. And Havu, you can see here on their T side, they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel confident at the very least with these executes towards A. They haven't put enough pressure towards long. When they get up short, they haven't felt like actually executing even after they burn their util. And Double Pony's just completely taking advantage of that. And Zori, another missed shot and a second one as Body swings out and takes him out, punished for his missed shots. Now Yemi is pushing forward. He's stuck in front of this Molotov. He has to get the kill, and Body somehow not able to find that one. Afro does trade it back, but still now X7, he's inside of B tunnels. He punishes that upper push from Joko. He's no Slowy. Because now this round is such a strange one. Everybody's pushing everywhere. 1 versus 1's taken across the entire map, and this is a classic Dust 2 round.
Vintage bit of D2 for you. But can these two still clutch the round for Havu and keep them in the game? Slowy on the short stairs. Afro's walking up, playing by Shoxy. If he walks straight past him, scoped in contact, he'll have no idea. Slowy, good moves, makes the adjustment, took a second, hit the shot. Now you're in. You can walk up towards the A site. Lucky, he's walking around, scared, hearing footsteps, hearing voices in his head, trying to figure out where exactly the two T's are. Stays scoped in so they won't hear the scope. He can walk up short now. Molotov out from Slowy. If he walks past it, maybe there's a chance, but he couldn't quite get through it in time. It will spread. He has to run back through it. Luckily, stops himself with divine intervention there, wanting to throw the nade, or else he would have been slain towards middle by X7. It's just a matter of time before the push comes in, really. He's trying to back off to go for the AWP save, but